Hey, you're in the reaction room with Reese. Welcome in. Today's recap is season 2, episode 28. But before we get into it, I need a favor. If you like my recaps, subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's see what's happening beyond the gates. We start off at Orphy Jeans. Smitty is telling Jacob he can't make one slip up with Rand. Jacob says, I know, I'm being careful. And then June comes over and asks him what they're talking about. They say sports or something. And then June says, oh, I thought you were talking about the impaler. At the hospital, Ashley asks Naomi if she's told Jacob or her family about the gene. She says no. Ashley tells her, you're carrying so much alone. And Naomi says, I'm not. I have you. And then Lynette bursts out of the elevator screaming, help, she needs help. Naomi asks what happened, and Haley says she was mugged. At the Dupree house, Chelsea and Madison tell Vernon and Anita that they have some news. They let them know that they just got engaged. Anita says, let me see that ring. That's a billboard. Pamela tells Danny that the meeting with Tatum was a success. Danny says she was impressed by Tatum's pitch. So Pamela asks her, what is your answer? Smitty tells Jacob what he's found out about Ren and the impaler. He says, you have to get Ren to trust you. And Jacob tells him, we gotta move fast so we can put them in prison where they belong. Danny tells Pamela to make the deal. Pamela leaves, and Danny and Andre head to the bedroom to celebrate. But someone's knocking at the door. It's Bill. Back at the hospital, Naomi asks Lynette if she's hurt too. So she puts her gloves on. And then Naomi finds out that Lynette knows a lot about her family. And then she tells Lynette that she's calling her father-in-law, the chief of police. Back at the Dupree house, Anita asks if the wedding is going to be in Copenhagen. Chelsea says she's not moving, but she'll still be visiting Madison. And then Madison blurts out that she's not going to Denmark. Andre won't let Bill in the house. And then Bill says, I need to see my wife. Danny hears the noise and comes to the door. And Bill tells her, we need to talk about Chelsea. Back at Orphy Jeans, Smitty asks June if she ever tried to sell her blood plasma while she was living on the street. She says, so this is about the impaler. And Smitty asks her, what do you know? June tells him to be careful. She says these streets will eat you alive, especially people who stick their nose in things they ain't got no business knowing. Bill tells Danny about Chelsea and Madison. He says, why aren't you upset? She's going down the same road you did. Madison tells Chelsea that she turned down the fellowship. She says she can reapply. She tells her, I can't spend a year in Ocean away from you. She says, I can't wait to share my life with you. Naomi lets Haley know that the chief is on his way to take her statement, and she tells her she's sorry this happened to her. Haley asks Naomi to call Bill because he hasn't been answering his phone. And then Naomi calls him and tells him that Haley has been mugged. So he leaves, but he tells Danny to talk some sense into Chelsea. Jacob meets up with Ren, and he tells Jacob how things work. He tells him he's got to put pressure on this inside guy in order to prove himself. The chief asks Haley what happened, and he takes her statement. And then Bill walks in, and Haley pretends to fall apart. Bill tells the chief to put his best men on the case. Elon says he'll pull security footage from every business within 100 yards. Ren asks Jacob if he's ready for his assignment. He says, when and where? Ren tells him, stay ready. Back at the hospital, Bill is taking Haley home, and she tells him the mugger stole her wedding ring. He says, I'll buy you a bigger and better one. Meanwhile, Lynette is at Orphy Jean's with Haley's ring. She says she's not letting this one slip through her fingers. Jacob comes back to Orphy Jean's to tell Smitty what Wren said. He says Wren wants him to get violent with one of the guys on the inside to teach him a lesson. Smitty asks him, you told him you would do it? Jacob says, I didn't feel like I had a choice. Smitty asks him, how far are you planning to go with this? Jacob says, far enough to prove myself. And that's how the show ended today. Let's talk about it in the comments. Hey, thanks for watching. And please don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I will talk to you in the next one, okay? Bye.